We are 12 games in, and the Carolina Panthers only have one win on the season. That doesn't matter, in my opinion. The biggest thing that matters for the rest of this season and moving forward is the development of Bryce Young. That's the biggest thing with this team, because you traded so much to go up there and get Bryce Young, and in 11 games this season, because he missed the game against Seattle Seahawks, he has 9 passing touchdowns to 9 interceptions. That's not the ideal start for your rookie quarterback, but we've seen other quarterbacks struggle immensely in their first year and go on to have great success. Look at Peyton Manning. His first year, he led the league in interceptions. After that, he's one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Not saying that Bryce Young will be like Peyton Manning, but he has a good chance to be very successful with the Carolina Panthers. Trevor Lawrence was coached underneath Urban Meyer's first year, was terrible, did not look good. In his second year, things got better with him and Doug Peterson, and in this year as well, he still looks like a solid quarterback. So you hope that can happen with Bryce Young. You had Frank Reich in there. He's no longer with this team. Thomas Brown is now calling plays full time. He's not going to be the offensive coordinator with this team long term either. They have to get the head coach right with this team. And you could say, hey, the wide receivers for this team are not good. Adam Thielen's the only true wide receiver that they have. That is true. But Bryce Young has not played good this season. It's okay to admit that the Carolina Panthers may have the worst roster in the NFL, and that Bryce Young is also not playing up the standard either. And it's not all on Bryce Young. What is on Bryce Young are the missed throws and the missed reads. It was a major opportunity against the New Orleans Saints where Jonathan Mingo was wide open, middle of the field. He completely missed him. He overthrew him. You have to be able to make that throw. We're late into this season. Early on, you can make excuses for it. It's the first couple games in the NFL. You're figuring things out. The game's at a different speed. We're this late into the season. You can't miss those passes. And missed passes does happen. Joe Burrow has missed passes. Patrick Mahomes has missed passes. But over the last couple weeks, Bryce Young has missed a lot more passes than he did in the first half of the season. And you can say, well, part of that is because Frank Reich is going. He was missing passes with Frank Reich as well. And another part of it is the amount of hits that he's taken per game. He took an ugly sack against the New Orleans Saints where he landed on his head. He's not going to last long in the NFL if he continues to take a pounding like this. I don't care if he was 6'5", 6'6". He is undersized. But even quarterbacks that are bigger, they don't last long when they're taking abuse like this. He's been sacked 48 times on the season. 48 times. The offensive line has to do a better job moving forward. And yes, I'm looking at these next couple of games to get a true evaluation of some of these guys, because Taylor Moton has been the best offensive lineman with this team, but he hasn't been great this season. He's having a down year, and I do believe moving forward that he will get better. Age may be showing up with him, but he's doing the best that he can to protect his side of the field. I'm worried about Icky at the left tackle position. He's not the same tackle he was last season. He's given up a lot of pressure, and he's just getting ran by right now. Fast defensive ends are giving him a lot of problems. He's not able to match that intensity with some of the most agile defensive ends in the NFL, something he was great at doing in college. Hopefully that he can develop, and this is just a sophomore slump with him. He still has some redeeming qualities to keep him at that left tackle position. At the right guard position, Austin Corbett missed a good portion of the season recovering from that knee injury. He hasn't played great in the games he's come back in either. So from tackle to tackle, the offensive line has to play better. Bryce Young does get rid of the football at a quicker rate than other quarterbacks on first and second down, but they put themselves in a bind so many times week to week. They're not just in 3rd and 5 and 3rd and 6s. They're usually in 3rd and 10 and 3rd and 13 because of the sacks, and they're getting pressure by front 4 to front 5 defensive fronts. And it makes it hard on the back end. You just put an extra defensive back there. Take this for example, what the New Orleans Saints did a week ago. They put Adam Thielen in double coverage. They say, hey, our front 4 can get home. Let's just zone in on him, make Jonathan Mingo and DJ Chark beat us, and they were not able to do so. And Jonathan Mingo is not a perfect wide receiver. He's had a lot of struggles this season. Drops with the football, and he just gives up on his routes at times. He's frustrated with this team, but he has to be better with that. I do believe that long term he will be fine. They just have to give him more looks and give him more opportunities. And this team has 20 drops on the season. That's 16th in the NFL. So not too bad, but majority of the drops that come from Jonathan Mingo. He has to be better. At times he struggles to separate, and he struggles to gain that speed in the open field. He has to be a better wide receiver and a better option for Jonathan Mingo, because Adam Thielen is not going to be here for the next 3 to 4 years, even though he is awesome right now. They're pairing up Bryce Young and Jonathan Mingo. They're both rookies, and that's a connection that the Panthers should want to work on for the next couple of years, because Jonathan Mingo has high upside. for sure. But right now, he has not been a good wide receiver with this team this season. And neither has DJ Chark. After this season, I expect for DJ Chark to not be on this roster. And I do believe that David Tepper looked at what Bryce Young was able to do at Alabama, and he probably said this: hey, this kid was able to go to Alabama, one of the weaker Alabama teams that they've had in quite some time. All he had was just a dynamic playmaker in Jahmyr Gibbs, and he was making the most out of what he had. And at Alabama, a team that had a lot of drops, that's moving inside and outside the pocket. Well, it's different in the NFL. Guys are faster, they're bigger, and they're tougher. And it's also this as well. The coaching staff is not using Bryce Young like how he was used in college. Get him outside the pocket more. Get him on the move. Majority of his touchdown passes have come this season, even though it is 9, have been off of play action, when he's able to move outside the pocket and get a clear read of the field. He's a quarterback that is better on the run than he is inside the pocket right now. And in a clean pocket, he's been solid. But he hasn't been amazing when it's a clean pocket. When he's able to run around and extend the plays, that's when we can see the greatness of Bryce Young. And that's what made him such a great prospect coming out of Alabama, and why the Panthers took him with the first overall pick. And clean pocket completion percentage, he's 60%. And that's 35th in the NFL. Red zone completion percentage is 48%. That's 23rd in the NFL. The play action percentage is 53%. That's 22nd in the NFL. But his completion percentage against pressure is 50%. That's 26 in the NFL. And that's solid for a rookie, because most rookies struggle immensely against pressure and against the blitz. Bryce Young has been fine against those things. It's just when you have to give him enough time, and when guys can get open, he can deliver the football. And if you don't believe that the wide receivers with this team are not up to par, Adam Thielen has 827 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns. That's amazing, but he's averaging 9.7 yards a catch. That's not on Adam Thielen. That's a scheme thing. The second leading wide receiver with this team is Jonathan Mingo. 377 receiving yards. You have a receiver that has 827 receiving yards that leads your team, and the second leading receiver only has 377 receiving yards, and after that is DJ Chark with 345 receiving yards. That's it. No one else is in that 300-yard radius, and no one else is even close on this list to Adam Thielen. The fourth guy that has the most receiving yards on this season is Hayden Hurst with 184 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. And that 1 touchdown came in week 1 against the Atlanta Falcons. So the free agents did not hit with this team at the wide receiving position. Moving forward, go out there, put some speed receivers on the field for Bryce Young, open up those pass lanes with the offensive line, and put him in a situation to where he can use his legs. He's a quarterback that has very good mobility, and he's been able to run around and make some plays before. Look what happened in the Chicago Bears game. He was able to run around. They gave him enough time to pocket on the right hash. He threw it across the field, and he gave a great ball to Jonathan Mingo. He was just not able to track the ball in the air. So Bryce Young has an ability. He has shown that he can go out there and make these plays. Maybe not at a consistent point just yet, but you see some of those glimpses of why he was worth being a first overall pick. I just don't like the narrative that people are saying, hey, Bryce Young it's okay to play bad because you're on a bad football team. No, that's not why he's playing bad. A lot of it is because Bryce Young is missing throws and he's not able to read certain NFL coverages just yet. And that's okay because he is a rookie. No one expected for him to come in overnight in the first year and change the culture and change everything, because this team has way more problems than just Bryce Young right now. But their biggest concern should be fixing Bryce Young. Their biggest problem is David Tepper, but their biggest concern on the field should be Bryce Young and surrounding him with elite talent, because they better do that sooner than later, because if you don't, he's not going to last in the NFL. You can also make this argument as well. Andy Dalton did come in and start a game this season against the Seattle Seahawks. He had 361 passing yards in that game and 2 passing touchdowns, and he got sacked 3 times. It wasn't like he was just playing back there behind one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. The offensive line still was a problem in that game as well. Andy Dalton managed the game better, and he got more guys involved, and he made more deep shots down the field than Bryce Young. Bryce Young, most passing yards in the game this season was 247 against the Detroit Lions. He had 3 passing touchdowns. You say, hey, that's a win. Unfortunately, it wasn't. They got blown out in that game. He threw not 1, but 2 horrible interceptions in that game. He threw an interception where he got baited by the corner on the left side of the field. It was a hung corner. He threw it. He thought the man was wide open. and he came out of nowhere and intercepted the football. He got baited, and he threw another bad interception in that game without pressure. That was in a clean pocket. So not all the interceptions are on the offensive line, and not all the fumbles are on the offensive line as well. Bryce Young just has to clean that up. It's nothing to just panic over. A coach can come in and can fix this. Like I said before in the video, Peyton Manning had problems his rookie season. Trevor Lawrence had problems his rookie season, but coaches have come in and they can correct these things. Bryce Young just needs a little more help right now. And I understand a lot of Carolina Panther fans want to say this too. If we would have had CJ, it would have been the same type of situation. You have to go out there, put this kid in the right situation with the right offensive-minded coach. Right now, they do not have the right coach on this roster to come in and help out with this kid. Do not be surprised if this team goes out and they try their best to hire Coach Johnson, the offense coordinator for the Detroit Lions, or they'll try to go out and try to hire the offensive coordinator from the Houston Texans and Bobby Sloyd because he's done such a great job with CJ. But let me know in the comment section below, how do you feel about the Carolina Panthers moving forward? And do you believe that Bryce Young can still be a franchise quarterback with this team? They need to fix the culture with this team, and they need to put this kid around elite talent as soon as possible. It is a chance that they put elite talent around Bryce Young and he may not be good. That is always a possibility. And I think that's a realistic possibility as well. It's a chance that this team goes out there, they spend a lot of money in free agency, they bring in all this elite talent, and maybe he's just not the right quarterback for his team. And if that's the case, this team would be in a bad situation because you traded so much to go up there and get Bryce Young, but you will not know if you do not go out there and try and put him in a good situation, in a better situation than he is in right now. In my opinion, he reminds me a lot of Tua Tagovailoa. He reminds me of Tua in this way, a guy that can push the ball down the field, has limited throw power at times, but in my opinion, he has a stronger arm than Tua, and he's a more mobile quarterback than Tua Tagovailoa, and he has better agility as well. He broke Demario Davis's ankles moving outside the pocket. So let me know in the comment section below how you feel about Bryce Young and will the Carolina Panthers do right by him. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, each and every last one, guys, stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Peace.